Hi guys, what's going on, and welcome to Pagan Online. So some of you may remember my video I did about a month or two ago now, during the first set of trials, which kind of just took a very broad overview of the game, kind of showed off some of the combat mechanics, took a little bit of a look at some of the levels, but didn't really delve into any of the details about sort of some of the controls, combat speed, hero abilities, and the leveling system. I kind of just wanted to delve into a little bit more detail by just playing through one of the levels today. Wargaming have been kind enough to sort of let this video go out, even though the game is still under NDA. And many of you may have been able to play in this weekend's trials, which is what I'm currently testing in. So just before we dive into that, I just wanted to quickly talk about how the controls work. Very simple. W, A, S, and D, you know, the classic WASD is to control your hero, and your mouse here controls your attack direction. For example, if I click over here behind me, you'll see I'll swing this way, and you can break vases. Oh, 14 gold. That's nice. So with that out of the way, let's push into our first encounter, and we'll just talk a little bit more about how things work from a combat point of view as we get stuck into the fighting. I'm playing as a different character this time compared to the last mode, and we've got a horde of zombies coming to us. I'm just going to stick my shield on, which makes me temporarily invulnerable, and start to use some of my abilities to get some damage up. Left click is working as the basic attack. Oh, when we're leveled up to level 11. Left click being the basic attack. Wow, got the damage up. And as you can see, these zombies give us a bit of poison damage as well, as we deal with some of these spellcasters. A lot of the encounters, particularly sort of mid-level, aren't all that difficult. Well, we're actually having a fairly hard time with them. We're down to half health already. I have some abilities I can heal my health with. I'm going to have to go for a health potion, I think. Ow. Certainly hurt. Get my shield back on. Die. Some big guys here to deal with. Knock these guys down again. We're going to get hit by some of their blasts in a minute. Shield back on. A bit of a challenging, tough opponent. Okay, here we go. We're getting them down now. One to go. Okay, and you see, once you finish sort of the mini encounter within the level, which is kind of how it tends to work. Once you wander into a room, you know, an encounter will start. You basically deal with that small encounter. Then afterwards, you get all the time you want to loot. So you can say go around picking up the various bits of gold. I did use a health potion, although you can only hold a max of 7 of them. And then, so these are all the gold, obviously, and then you've got various items. So it shows you your currently equipped item, and then the stats of the new one. You don't have to pick them up. I tend to just pick everything up, and I can then look at it afterwards once I'm back, you know, safely in the sort of open world aspect. So I can just sort of go through my equipment, sell off anything that I don't want, and move on from there. Although, looking like that, there's not a lot of stuff there that I particularly wanted to keep. A little bit over here. Inscribed Pole of Slaughter. Oh, who doesn't need a Pole of Slaughter? So, which way are we going? Looks like we are pushing on straight down this way. Oh. Place is infested with foul demonic corruption. Must be another way. Okay, we can't go that way, so we're going to have to go round. Some parts of the scenery are destructible like this. You kind of get a pretty good indication it's going to be destructible. That was very destructible, wasn't it? And we'll push up here, and I expect you see, as you can sort of see, we're opening up into another area. So this is more than likely going to be another encounter. And it is. So I'm going to go straight on with my shield. So how do the hero abilities work? So obviously you can see down in the bar down here my various abilities and their controls to use them. So I can right click a slightly more powerful lightning attack. Get my shield up because I'm taking quite the damage. You can see I have abilities like space is a very big swirling attack. So if I activate that now, you can see that does quite a lot of damage. Ow, he blasted me. And we even have quite an impressive fist attack, which I quite like. As a giant fist comes from the ground and punishes everyone. It doesn't like that. Okay, he looks fairly badass. So we've got a mini boss fight broken out. Okay, I wasn't actually expecting this. If you get higher tier bosses like this, like Stra, not super amazing, but they have quite a high damage output. Some of our range abilities. For a lightning attack. There we go, we're going to get it. Nice. Okay, so he's like a mini level boss. And that pretty much completes that encounter. So I'm finding most of the levels tend to be about 1 to sort of 5 minutes in length, which is kind of nice, but they're really quick to sort of pass through, and there are just tons of them as you sort of progress through the story. You also get these little crafting items and things like that as well. So yeah, let's probably hop onto another encounter, to another level, and you can sort of see as we progress and maybe get onto one of some of the bigger boss fights, because ones like that you get these sort of mini level boss fights. Some are easy, some can actually be pretty challenging. You can easily get killed. But then you get onto some of the big end of chapter bosses, and they can really be challenging. So I shall see you in the next encounter. So we are coming up to one of the big boss fights for the end of the chapter. Yeah, I think this one's going to be tough. I remember playing this one in the last trials, and it took me absolutely ages to kill him. So there's no guarantee we're actually going to come out of this one alive. I've not fought this guy with his hero before, so let's see how this goes. First thing first, let's get straight on with the shield, and let's try and start getting some damage in. I think it's going to be a case of trying to maintain shield damage. Ow. Wow. And then trying to get away the rest of the time until we get our shield back. Shield back. Go with some abilities, get our giant fist in. Slight innuendo. Let's try and get some damage up. I think something bad's going to happen. Ooh, I'm slowed down. Shield back up. I'm going to try and maximize my shield use. You know, it's not actually that odd for line for that. Ow. That long. Wow, that takes up a lot of health, doesn't it? If we use our space ability, it gives us a small amount of health back. I'm going to keep trying to get as much damage in as I can for when I get to get the hits around the back of it. Our space ability back, a little bit of health recovered. Shield back up because I think I'm going to get hit again in a minute. I did. Nice. We've gone into a blocking stance. Ow. Jesus, that takes up so much health. Okay, shield back up. Going for our damage. Right, and taunting attack. They're slowly knocking him down, but then we've not got a tremendous amount of health left ourselves. We have got health potions. Maybe go for one of them. I don't want to run out of health potions mid-fight. Shield back up. Oh, this is chaos. We've got zombies coming in as well. Ow. That would gotta hurt. Shield back up. We've got this. We've got this. Taunting ability in. I'm just trying to basically make use of all my abilities at once. They do feel very, what the word is, intuitive in terms of their control layout. I know it's not that basic, only a keyboard layout, but the way they're all placed, I find it very easy once you've been playing a while to learn the different abilities and their location, and I find it quite easy to run fairly big and complicated combos without too much trouble, to be honest, which is nice. And it's obviously what you want to have again. There we go, we're getting this guy down now. Trying to avoid getting hit by any more. Going to a defensive stance. Ow, that's going to hurt. He did. Wow, health low, health low. Oh, potion. Ow, wall. Shield up. Big fist. Keep that damage up. Our spinning attack combo. Almost down. Just trying to keep that damage in. Ow. Let's throw my hammer at him. There we go. Throwing the hammer. That's what you needed to do. I needed to do a Thor moment. Nice. And that, I believe, spells the end of him. And that completes this part of the quest that I wanted to do. Because we've killed the king, basically. Which is this guy who's been trapped in eternal darkness. So anyway, hopefully that kind of gives you a bit of an overview of some of the more mechanic combat side of things and how they work. You know, it's kind of nice. I really like the way it plays. I think something that I saw quite a few people talk about in the previous video was the combat speed thing, that it feels possibly a little bit slow. I do kind of disagree with that. Oh, is that for me? Oh, that is a very nice item. A legendary one-handed... Oh, I'm whipping that right away. Damage increase. Nice. Always like a legendary item. That slightly distracted me. Yeah, the combat speed. So some people said they found it felt a little bit slow. I really don't feel it does. I guess there is an argument that it could be increased slightly, but for me, at least, I find the combat speed quite nice. I find the controls intuitive. I like the camera angle. I think it works well. That's classically a problem with these sort of games, is bad camera angle. But that's really not the case now. So anyway, hopefully this overview was sort of vaguely helpful or vaguely informed you a little bit more about what the game's all about. If it was, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel. We'll certainly be having more Pagan Online content in the future. And I shall see you all in the next video.